Hi, my name is Val Criado. My husband is Francisco Criado from Tech Data. I'm super excited to be kicking off Fuerza Flavors with a very easy recipe of how to make flan. You might have caught me on Spring Baking Championship on the Food Network. I was just on there as one of the contestants and I made it to the final four. So to make this flan, you just need a few simple ingredients. We need sugar, 2 cans of evaporated milk, 2 cans of condensed milk, and 6 eggs. You will also need a large mixing bowl, a bun cake pan, and a handheld mixer. Okay, first we are going to put the milks in the bowl. We have our evaporated milk. Now we're going to add our condensed milk. Just pour it right on in there. Other one. You want to make sure that you get it all in there. Now we're going to crack our eggs into the bowl. We're gonna mix it a little bit using our handheld mixer. Okay, once it's all mixed, now we need to make the caramel, which is really the hardest part of this whole dessert. Okay, so now we're gonna make the caramel, which is really the hardest part of this dessert, only because you wanna make sure that your sugar does not get too brown, because then it'll be burnt. So we're going to put 2 cups of sugar inside the pan, turn it on, and we need to be a little bit patient. You want to do like a medium to medium high to start with, and then once the sugar starts melting, you can lower it to medium low to make sure that it doesn't start burning, because if it starts bubbling too much, then it's going to crystallize and it'll be burnt. Caramel is getting hot and the sugar is melting. You want to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Another thing that is good to know is that you need to bake a flan in a water bath, because since you're baking eggs and milk, it'll burn in the oven unless you put it in a water bath. So we're going to put the bun cake pan inside another larger pan, and we're going to fill this pan about 2/3 with water before it goes into the oven. See how the sugar is starting to melt? You can see it in the pan there. That's when you start moving it to make sure that it doesn't burn. Once it starts melting, you want to turn down the heat a little bit so that it doesn't, you want to keep it this nice caramel color. You don't want it to become brown, because then it'll be bitter. This is the color that you want it to be once you're done making it and all of the sugar is dissolved. You want to make sure that it does not get darker than this, so that it gives it that really nice caramel flavor. I'm kind of helping the sugar dissolve evenly by pushing it down with my wooden spoon. Pro tip, don't ever touch caramel with your fingers, because the heat will literally burn it down to your bone. It is almost ready. Okay, as soon as it's ready, we need to take it off the heat, and super carefully, we're gonna pour it very carefully on the bottom of the bun cake pan. Okay, so once we have it in there, I use a trivet to protect the countertop, because it's really hot. So now what we need to do, and this is also getting hot, we need to quickly, with our spoon, you're going to coat the back of your bun cake pan, like so. Because that'll keep the flan from burning as it's baking in the oven. Here we go, so now we have, it looks good, all nice and even. This is done. Now we're gonna mix it one more time to make sure that it's all nice and combined, and then we're gonna pour it into our bun cake pan. Okay, now we're gonna pour some water into the pan so that we can bake it in a water bath. Again, it's gonna be around 2/3 of the pan. It's gonna be with water. Into the oven, 1 hour. Okay, so I ended up leaving it in here for 1 hour and 10 minutes, and now it's nice and set. So we're just gonna leave the water bath in there to cool down so we don't burn ourselves. And we're going to leave this here. And now it needs to cool down for about 30 to 45 minutes. Now that it's been cooling down for 30 to 45 minutes, I left this one probably for about 45 minutes. It should be ready to unmold. So what you want to do is that you want to just release it from the sides using a spatula, just like this. I'm going to do the middle too, just making sure that none of the sides are sticking. And you only get 1 shot. You want to use a big plate. You want to make sure that it has a lid so that all the caramel doesn't ooze out. Okay? So we're going to put it on top of the flan. Kind of make sure that it's in the middle. Then you grab it and you flip. And there it goes. Now the moment of truth. Ta-da! There you go. Get the rest of the caramel. Make sure you get all the deliciousness on there. All right, so now I'm gonna cut you a piece of this flan. And I hope you all enjoy my family's Peruvian flan that has been in my family for so many years. Enjoy!